Hi all, my name is Rob McKenzie, and I want to introduce myself to you and invite the rest of you to introduce yourselves as well so that we can get to know each other a little bit online anyhow before we head off on this great adventure to Malmo, Sweden. So my job here at ESU is I'm a professor in the Department of Communication, and I'm also the chairperson of the Department of Communication in my 8th year. In our department, we have both a bachelor's degree and we also have a master's degree, a Master of Arts degree. And this class embodies that because this class will be a combination of both undergraduate students and graduate students. Before I became the department chairperson, for most of my career here, I was teaching in the broadcast concentration. I was a broadcast professor teaching classes like broadcast journalism and voice for broadcasting and radio practicum. But when I became department chair, it became mostly about trying to grow the department, and that's why we acquired, among other reasons and with the help of others, a Master of Arts degree. This is actually my final year here at East Stroudsburg University, and my final course is going to be the one in Sweden that you are taking with me, CMST 410 and CMST 510 Comparative Media, my signature course, a course that I established many, many years ago. I've taken students to more countries than any other ESU professor. I've taken them to China, I've taken them to Sweden twice before, I've taken them to the UK 4 times, I've taken them to France twice, to Puerto Rico, to Mexico, to the Dominican Republic, to Montreal, to Toronto. I've taken my students to a lot of places, and the reason I'm coming back to Sweden is because it's such a great place. It's such a magical place. I think you'll find the nature to be quite stunning, and it's that way for a reason. Sweden wants its nature to be prominent when you go around looking at the country. So it's not littered with advertising when you go around Sweden. You'll see just beautiful nature. You'll also find a very organized society, particularly when it comes to things like the public transportation system, which you'll be able to use, and the signage, and the use of English, and free Wi-Fi in places that you go to. Sweden is an incredibly organized country. I think you'll also find the Swedish people to be very interesting and different from people you've experienced before if you haven't experienced Swedes. They're very direct. They will tell you exactly what they think, and they will be blunt about it. At least that's the way it'll sound. But to a Swede, that's just being blunt, that's being direct, that's being honest. And they're very open. They will discuss all subjects. You can discuss subjects that you may have thought were off limits before, and you'll have to figure those out for yourself. With a Swede, no problem. And you'll have the opportunity to do that. We're even going to have a meal in a Swedish home while we're there. As far as what we're going to do there, those things are still in the works. We're still planning out the adventure. There's a lot of moving parts here, but I can tell you that we're going to have a time that is going to be full of a variety of activities while we're there. And of course, we're going to be focusing on media systems. Media systems is what this course is all about. It's about comparing media. And media are composed of media systems. That is how they are financed, how they are regulated, the philosophy of the countries in which the media systems grow up, the culture of the countries. These are all factors that have to do with comparing media, and we look at media systems. We'll be really focusing on the Swedish media system and also the Danish media system and comparing it with the US. That's why we're there, right? That's why I take this class abroad, so that we can get a first-hand look at a country's media system. It makes it so much more fascinating. I have done a lot of research in this area. I wrote a book called Comparing Media from Around the World. We'll be working with some of the info from that book. That book is no longer in print because it's out of date, but to gather the research for it, I did go around the world. I met with regulators in Paris, France, for example, and Mexico City as well, lots of other places to gather info for that book. So I can provide a lot of direct information on comparing Swedish and Danish media to US media. I want to let you know that my wife will be joining us later on in the course. She's also a professor at ESU. She's Kelly, and she's in the Department of Academic Success, where she's also the chairperson, and she'll be joining us on the very back end of the trip. My kids are also big travelers. My daughter Fiona is a student at Westchester University in the master's degree program, and my son is a student at East Stroudsburg University in the interdisciplinary program with the marijuana certificate program, which is a 4-course program. So that's a little bit about me. There's going to be lots of unanswered questions still about the course. That's the way that study abroads go. And there will be some things that don't work out and lots of things that do work out. That's also the nature of this enterprise. But I can tell you that regardless, you've made a really excellent decision to broaden your horizons and to go to a beautiful, safe country in the context of an academic course. As we go forward, let me know if you have any questions. I look forward to meeting you all in person and heading on our journey, which is not too far away, starting at Newark, New Jersey. See you soon.